These Charles with his steel. And then they're up against, on the left-hand side, the Edinburgh University lightweights. There's a big discrepancy here in terms of weight. The guys from Edinburgh University and Oxford Brookes.
Absolutely, Martin. So Oxford Brookes was my old university, so I'm also a member of Leander Club, so I'm a bit torn in this race. But they've got a good start there. Leander, very well drilled. They've been together for a long time. But Edinburgh and Oxford Brookes looking very, very strong as well. They're the lightweight under 23s, I believe. And funnily enough, I raced the head of the river with the bowman, Ben Reeves. He's a real fighter, so I think we're in for a good race here, Martin.
Yeah, and Con Williamson, who's been taking James Temple and Gavin Horsburgh, who's in the stern of that Edinburgh University boat around to World Cup season, is a former GB squad member doing fantastic things with the programme at Edinburgh University. I mean, they have so many athletes coming out of Scotland now for international representation. Never used to be the case, but he's one of the guys that's really changing things. And that's a great race from the first signal. Leander may just have an early lead. Crew closest to you.
Yeah, and you can see in that shot the difference in styles there, Martin. You can see Leander a bit heavier, a bit stronger crew, and they're quite punchy and direct on the front end, where if you look at the front end where they place the blades into the stroke and they really hit it with their legs hard. Whereas if you look at the lightweight crew, it's actually a little bit behind now. They're a lot looser and smoother in the front end, and they tend to accelerate a little bit more. So there's contrasting styles there, but there's several ways to skin a cat. But you can see Leander, the heavier crew, kind of slightly got the advantage now, and that's where their weight and their power will really be coming in.
So Alex, if you had to choose the way you could scull, which of those two would you prefer?
Well, I mean, I like the way that the lightweights are rowing. I personally like to be really loose and relaxed because it actually doesn't hurt your legs as much at the front end. But the way that you're biomechanically supposed to do it is the way Leander are doing it, where and especially in the quadruple scull, where the boat's really fast, you need to make sure you pick up the water at the front end and really get onto it very hard. You've got this Leander crew picking it up well and pushing the legs down, but you look at the East Germans from 20 years ago, they could almost sit bolt upright and smash the water with their legs. But it looks like the lightweights are hanging in there, Martin.
So we're looking at the heat of the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup. It's Leander Club in their 200th year with the Cerise blades on the left-hand side of your screen. They are leading the crew from Edinburgh University and Oxford Brookes University on the right-hand side.
Yeah, a bit of disturbance on the water there as they go through some of the launch wash, which is always one of the challenges there at Henley. And you can see Leander had a bit of clipped their blades, which looks like they kind of set them back a little bit, but they're moving through it. You can see they're struggling. They hit the wash first on that side, Martin, which is always, very frustrating. And you can see the lightweights, Edinburgh and Oxford Brookes, seem to be hanging in there in slightly smoother water.
They've had a great season, Horsburgh and Temple, the stern pair of the Edinburgh University and Oxford Brookes crew. Yesterday's times, well, 1:52.308 for the Leander crew. They went through the barrier in 40. 1:56.314 for the Edinburgh University lightweights. I'd say that's a pretty decent step up, Alex. Yeah,
Leander seemed to move away just now. I was actually looking at the Edinburgh crew and I thought, it looks like they're coming back. But while I was watching them, Leander really have stabbed down, and you can see that they're really trying to move away as they go past Upper Thames. This is a kind of really distinctive part of the course where you really try and throw a move in before you move into the enclosures, because as you get into the enclosures, the sound of the crowd can really move both crews, but you want to kind of get ahead of the gun a bit on that one.
So the crew's coming into what will be the last 500-600 metres of the course, 3:07 through to Forley. That's a second quicker than yesterday Leander went through, so they're going faster and conditions a little bit quicker than they were yesterday. There's the stroke of the Leander crew, Andrew Joel, who was in the winning Leander A crew that took this event, together with his crewman in the two-seat, Ronan Law, the 21-year-old. Charles Waite-Roberts and Ollie Stevenson, both just 25 and 21 respectively, make up that Leander crew. Yeah, they won last year, but they changed two of the crew this year, and it's really interesting. I've been training at Leander, and
seeing some of their meetings after the rows, and it's taken them quite a long time to get this boat together. That they had to change the way they approached it. It may not look that different, but to them it felt very different.
And who's coaching this crew, Al?
I believe it's Matt Beachy, Beachy and Mark Banks. Mark Banks, stalwart of Leander and British rowing. In fact, he taught me how to row when I was 16 years old.
Yeah, and Matt Beachy, former lightweight international for the Great Britain team. There you see the back of the 25-year-old Charles Waite-Roberts. He's got the magic foot steering that boat, but he shouldn't have to touch his foot really in a quadruple scull. It's going pretty straight. Or what would you say, Alex?
Yeah, I think it's going really well. I was just saying, look at the acceleration there off the bows as it kind of plows through the water. It's a really nice shot, and it kind of shows you, how the boat moves through the stroke and accelerates and rises. And yeah, I think they're doing a great job there.
What I didn't realise is that actually the boat, when you put the blades in first of all, Edinburgh University just coming back slightly there towards the finish. We'll talk about rowing technique in the middle of the races rather than let's concentrate on the finish of this race. Leander just 1 length up.
Yeah, it looks like they're relaxing, Martin. I think they know they've got it. I mean, great job, Edinburgh Brookes University there, fighting all the way to the end. I mean, the tough guys, the lightweights, they're trying to establish themselves for this summer.
And it's going to be a close verdict to the finish, less than a length. Leander crossed the line. Their rivals, Edinburgh University and Brookes University, coming just under a length behind. Confirmation of that result there.